Hi, this is Danny Vance coming at you from the Holler Studio this evening. We've got a couple of guests with us tonight, actually new owners of the new Ashland Tiny House. You folks want to introduce yourselves a little bit and talk about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Nathan.
I'm Heidi.
We've been married for about almost 5 years now. So been looking at tiny houses
For
kind of
most of that-
semi-seriously for most of that, about probably 4 years or so.
Yeah.
And then really serious in the past 2 years? 1 year? 2 years?
So what really drew you to the tiny house in general, you know?
Mobility.
Mobility.
That was the big thing.
Yeah.
I'm applying to medical school and just having, being able to move it. You know, when I get into residency or whatever school I get into, we can move it with us and we can just have our house and have it, not have to reset every time we move.
Right. What a great idea. You buy your home and just take it with you where you go, huh?
Yeah.
So it's a great idea.
We've moved like about 8 times in the past almost 5 years. And so it's like,
Having that hard reset every time you move, and they've been big moves, so it'd be nice to just bring your house with you, find a spot to put it, and
I guess you're on your way there, aren't you?
help build those resources rather than restart.
Right.
So
Well, that's great.
yeah.
You know, we're excited here about the tiny houses. As you can see, we've shown you a couple and talked a little bit about our past, but we're real proud of what the students do here in Eastern Kentucky and with these projects because they're a great project. And what would you say are some of the things you liked about this tiny house that drew your attention to it more than some of the others you may have seen?
the big thing for me was the size and the layout. The layout, I mean, we're looking at a lot of different ones, and like the windows, for example, and the kitchen setup, and the bathroom in the back. And I kind of was very picky about, how I wanted it to look. And when I was looking at a lot of them, it was like, oh, well, I really don't like that. No, I'd want to tear that out. And this one, it's kind of the base model, and then we can kind of make those personalization touches,
Right.
how we want to make them, and not have to tear out something and
Redo it.
it.
So that might be a good message to some of the, the future schools, the students on designing these things. This one, like we talked about earlier, all the inside's kind of neutral. It allows you to stain different shades of stain or paint, whatever you want to paint. The structure's there and the finish is to come later, but they use really good products in that one, all the oak woods that still you can go light or dark with and blend it to suit yourself rather than maybe students doing it and it may not be exactly what you want. So that's maybe something for them to think about in the future is to keep doing that to allow the new owners to be more personalized with it.
Yeah. And it also keeps the cost down too. I
Right.
mean, then when we come in, it's like, oh, well, I'd really like to use this type of stain on this part, or, this color paint or whatever. So it kind of keeps the cost down for you guys, and then also lets us kind of make it our own.
And it's, every dime helps here. They're working on a tight budget, so we try to do all we can with what we have. And with KVEC having this initiative to start with this grant was a great idea. And as you can see it progress over the years, this is where we are. We're up to a pretty nice home, that one is, at this stage.
And that was the other thing too, is we're not just buying a used tiny house from somebody. It's new. It's feel like you're giving back to the community by buying this house, and with the wood being locally sourced, and the students putting in their time and their effort and learning this and being able to take it out into the world and do their own thing, like it's a nice feeling. It's not just a house that you just bought.
Right, and that's how we feel here. It's when you look at buying tiny houses, you may be buying one off of a contractor company that builds these things, puts them out. This one, it's unique. There's not another one like it. It's built by students from the ground up, and then the money, like you said, I guess there is a good feeling there that money comes back to the school to build again next year. So that's what we really enjoy about this concept here at KVEC is being able to let these students do this project and then let it continue every year. The grant, it's a self-sustaining grant that continues every year, and it's great. Yeah. And we're glad that you're a part of that, and we hope you enjoy your new home.
Oh, well, I'm sure we will.
So it's going from South Dakota, but it's actually going to Arizona then, right?
Yep.
That'll be a trip.
Yeah.
And
we're excited.
That kind of ties into something that we're actually interested in about this house too is I mean, she mentioned the open layout and everything, but part of that is the windows around the one side of the living room area, and all those windows being tempered glass, which is actually one of the requirements for Arizona, is if there's certain distance from the door or whatever, it needs to be that tempered glass, and so.
So those
That-
high quality materials that
Right.
were invested in it really,
If
really
I
are
had
paying
to
off for
just
us.
really
describe
helped.
that house to someone, I would say that house has quality materials.
Yeah.
Not that they all don't, but oak wood is the more expensive wood, and it's throughout that home. The wood and the windows are nice,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize they were tempered glass, but
Yeah.
I'm glad you picked up on that and realized that was possibly a code in your area. These codes are different in every state,
Yeah.
so it's hard to build one of these to satisfy everybody.
Yeah.
So we try to do the best we can, and those teachers do a real good job at those schools working with those kids to get the materials they need to fit the most needs of most states.
We also really loved the storage that this one had. I mean, and everywhere from the storage on the stairs, the storage under the couch, and just the kitchen and the whole layout of it. It just really allowed you to maximize storage space, which was a huge thing when we were looking at it too. It's like a lot of these, it's like, oh, well, it's a cute house, but you can't
Where you gonna
store
hang your coat?
anything.
Yeah.
Where you gonna put your clothes,
Right.
and different things like that. So this one, it was like, it made the storage look really nice and really functional, and
Yeah.
And it still
Really-
leaves it open, doesn't it?
yeah. And
It's
it
really
also,
open.
again, like timelines happen, and it didn't quite finish, but that allows us to go in and
Right.
take where you left off and
Yeah.
make it ours.
Well, good.
We're excited.
And
Well, I wish you the best, and I hope you enjoy your tiny house living,
Yeah.
and hope that works out for you. And if you ever need anything, you can give us a yell or pass the word on about the good things that are going on in Eastern Kentucky, and we may sell a few more of these in your area.
Yeah.
So,
sounds good.
any other comments before we close?
Thank you guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
We're so excited
We're
to
glad
have
you drove all the way from South
We're
Dakota to
excited.
check this thing out. But
Yeah.
and we're excited
Alrighty.
to be first time home buyers.
first time
Yeah.
home buyers. There you go. Well, you picked a good one. Well, thanks, folks. And again, this is Heidi and Nathan, and I'm Danny Vance, and we will holler at you later. Thank you.